We have our first case. That's Mr. Davenport. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Angelo Davenport, 108407.
Mr. Davenport. Open my file. So, Mr. Davenport, I'm going to read some information into the record. I'm going to ask you to confirm that information, and then we'll have a parole interview with you.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Davenport, you are classified as a fourth felony offender. You are currently serving a 35-year sentence for aggravated criminal damage to property as a habitual offender. You were sentenced in Caddo Parish in October of 2019. Your parole eligibility date was August 1st of 2021 in accordance with Act 122. You don't earn good time, and you had a full term date April 5th, 2032. Does all that sound correct?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Davenport, your case has been assigned to me, so I'll take the lead on the interview. So how old are you, sir?
61.
61. How long you been in jail?
23 years.
23 years. You were originally sentenced to a life sentence, and that was in 1999, and the 35-year sentence is a result of resentencing in October of 2019. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So I noticed in your prior criminal history, as I stated, you're a fourth offender. I see a simple burglary in 1984, 1992, an ag battery. You were revoked on both of those offenses.
Yes.
Yes. Tell us about the programs you've been able to take advantage of. You had a hearing back in May of 2022. You were denied at that parole hearing.
Yes.
So tell us, what kind of programs have you been able to do since that hearing?
I had attended Living in Balance.
Good. When did you finish that?
March 13th,
Of 2022 or this year?
22.
22. So you finished that prior to your last hearing, right? Because your
Yeah.
last hearing was in May. You finished Living in Balance in March.
Yes. And victim awareness. And March 7th.
Okay.
22.
So it looks like you hadn't been able to take any, or haven't taken any programs rather, since your last parole hearing. What is your job? Do you have a job? I see you have some medical issues. Do you have a job at the prison?
No, not right now. Because of that, I had a stroke.
Okay, I see. You have multiple rather chronic medical conditions, so you're unable to hold a job. What do you do all day?
Well, besides Living in Balance and victim awareness and 100 hours, just a lot of reading, studying up on that.
Right. So how do you spend your day? Tell us that. Tell us what a day looks like for you.
Well, mostly just staying out of trouble, eating my meals, stuff like that.
Do you belong to any club?
no clubs.
Okay. Well,
And I'm also man of God, you know.
so you go to church services?
Yes.
Good. When was your last write-up? I know when they denied parole the last time, it was because you had a bad, your conduct record was not that good. When was your last write-up? Do you remember?
2021.
Yeah. So you hadn't had one since then? That was a pretty bad one. That was aggravated disobedience, but you hadn't had any since then?
No.
Good. Why do you think that is? Because you had been getting them pretty often, and then you don't have anymore in the last 2 years. Why is that?
Because I've been looking out for myself, you know, not getting in trouble.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm worried about your history of violence. This was a pretty violent crime. The victim in this case, well, tell us what happened. You know what happened? Describe it for us.
Can't really describe it. You talking about on the street?
Yeah, like you're in jail right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what I got. Tell me if it's right. You
All
can
right.
straighten it up. You drove your vehicle into the residence of Miss Carrie Hill,
Yeah.
and you were trying to hit Carolyn Gilliam with your car as she came out of that residence, which was her mother's residence. Why did you do that?
Carolyn, that we was involved. We was
Yeah.
remember if we married or not, but anyway,
You were mad at her?
yes, she tried to
Sir?
shoot me.
She tried to shoot you?
Yeah.
Do you have a relationship with Carolyn now?
No.
All right. You have, as I'm sure was mentioned to you at your last parole hearing, you've got people that don't want you to get out of jail early. Law enforcement is opposed, the judge is opposed, the district attorney, prosecutor is opposed. Why do you think we should let you out of jail early?
Because I've been here a long time and I didn't hurt nobody. I'm just I'm ready to get out.
Yeah, well, you were trying to hurt somebody.
But I didn't.
All right. Tell us, if you were successful, where would you live and how would you support yourself?
Well, on Tulsa Street in the Martin Luther King area, that's where I'm from. And I plan to live there with my dad.
You gonna live with your father?
Yeah.
How you gonna support yourself?
Because I'm gonna have to get disability because of the stroke I had. And so I can't talk that good.
So your plan is to live with your dad and draw disability. How old's your father?
84.
He still gets around good and all that? He gets around good?
Yeah, but he's losing his eyesight.
Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. Let me ask Warden, is there anything you can tell us, Warden Kimball?
No, ma'am, you've pretty much touched on everything. His record speaks for itself. He's been with us since September of 2019. Since his last hearing, he has not had any further RBRs, but you've pretty much touched on everything about the record. That's nothing else to add, Mr. Knox.
Okay, thank you.
When did you have your stroke?
2010 and gold.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
Yes.
Okay. Anything you want to say to us before we vote?
No, ma'am.
All right. I think we're ready to vote, Mr. Davenport. I'll be voting first, and I'm a little worried about you. I don't believe you have a good, solid transition plan in place. I know you said you want to go back to where you came from to live with your dad, who has some medical issues himself. So I'm not sure that's going to work out for you, based on the opposition that's been expressed. The fact that I think you need some more programs if you could. My vote today is going to be to deny you parole. Mr. Roshan.
Madam Chairman, my vote is the same reasons.
Mrs. Jackson.
My vote is the same.
Mr. Davenport, we wish you well. Good luck to you, sir.